Hello, this is Sarah from sarahestelle.com, and in today's Create a Magical Business Tip for empowered healers and heart-based business owners everywhere, I'd like to talk to you about intuition and how we can use intuition to share what we do, i.e. to share about our businesses. So if you're like me, you probably weren't taught about intuition at school, and you may even have not really had a background where people told you to follow your heart rather than your head. So in business, my belief is that we're very, very lucky nowadays because we have now this merging of the heart-centered feminine way of doing business, and adding to it what we may have learned at school, or if you've had business coaching or studied it in any way, of doing it in more logical, rational ways. Now, the reason I'm putting my hands like that is because in the world that I inhabit, we talk about the inner feminine, which is our heart-centered guidance, and our inner masculine, which is more the part of us that does things and makes decisions and drives us forwards. Now, some of us are very much in our inner feminine, and that's great. Some of us are very much in our inner masculine, in our doing world, and that's great too. But the most powerful place is to be in both at the same time. So how do we know actually where we're sitting? So if you're like me, you may well have spent a lot of time in your head, and you may actually have been taught to make decisions from your head. So it's a really helpful thing to do, but how might we know we're doing this? So we're looking at books to say this is what you do in this order, or we're following a program that tells you that, or maybe we're looking at what someone else is doing, or we're taking guidance from the external, or we're doing things that because we're told to do them, but they don't actually feel quite right. That's probably more coming from a rational, logical way of doing things. So what we're looking to do is to truly listen to our hearts and to allow the pulse that drives us forward to come from inside. So when we decide to do any marketing, any sharing, in whatever form that might take, what investments you ask for to your potential clients, that pulse actually springs from your heart rather than from your head. Now, we do need this, and much of my business is intuitively led. Now, how do I do this? I do it by timing what I do from the natural cycles of the earth. I use the lunar cycles, I use the seasons to inform me. I'm very led by working with flower essences. They are my life, they are what I teach, they are also what I use in my business. So just from that, there's this feminine pulse comes forward. I also, though, take part in business mentoring myself and have very experienced business mentors, and have had since 2011, that help me make decisions in more logical and rational ways. So when we bring this beautiful inner feminine self and we lead with her, but we also bring in the inner masculine, and we lead with a merging of rational and logic and heart-centered authenticity and integrity, we have this beautiful whole that comes forward that allows us to share what we love, to be in integrity and authenticity, to only do what we love, but also it needs a specific pulse of intention behind it so that it's seen and heard and received by the people who it's intended for. So I hope that's been helpful for you, a little sharing about how I've used intuition in my business. I'd love to hear how this speaks to you. And if you'd like more information about how this could work for you, if you are ready to take your healing gifts and healing business forward, the link is just below for you to be able to do that. So many blessings, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.